Hello and welcome to Free Amortization Schedule Template. My name's Jeff, I'm glad you're here. Let's just jump right in. In this short video, I'm going to show you how to get, use, and maintain a free loan amortization schedule workbook. Let's just jump right in. Exercise 1. So how do we get this free template? Well, basically, if you're not aware, Microsoft provides hundreds of free Excel templates. They're very easy to get to. We simply go to File, New. Now basically, we can browse to some popular categories or we can do a search. So I'm going to search for amortization schedule and hit enter. So you can have a look through any of these. In this example, I'm going to use this one and click create. And just like that, we've downloaded the free amortization schedule. And there are literally hundreds of free templates, so you definitely want to check it out. Now that we've obtained the schedule though, let's talk about how we can use it and maintain it. And that takes us to our next exercise, exercise 2. So let's take a look around. Here we can rename this from loan amortization schedule to any other name we want. We also have the expected input cells. For example, the loan amount. What we notice here is it starts at $5,000. It also uses a defined name. If you've never used a defined name before, basically you can name a cell to make it easier to reference from other cells. And the way that you would name a cell is by selecting the cell, heading to this name box, typing in the desired name, and hitting enter. Avoid spaces and funky characters. We have the annual interest rate, which makes sense, loan period in years, number of payments per year, and the start date. Optional extra payments, and this is just provided in case you want to pay more per month than the scheduled payment amount. The scheduled payment amount is automatically calculated here. Number of scheduled payments, this is a formula. Actual number of payments, this is a formula. Total early payments, this is a formula, and total interest is a formula. And here we can update the lender name, no problem. Let's scroll down a little bit. Here we see we have the payment number, the payment date, the beginning balance, the scheduled payment amount, the extra payment amount, the total payment amount, and then what of that payment is applied to principal and interest, the ending balance of the loan, and the cumulative interest. And we notice that all of these are formulas. Let's say that the loan period is 2 years, and let's see what happens. We hit 2 and enter. And we see this automatically gets filled down, which is great. But how did that happen? Well, if we look at the next row, what we're going to see is there are formulas. So in other words, these formulas have been filled all the way down ahead of time. And it looks like it extends to about row 100. So what's going on here? Well, if I select any cell, I see that I get this table design ribbon tab. And that's telling me that these formulas are stored in a table. And that means we have some various options that we can explore, and we'll check those out in a second. But let's talk about this loan period in years. What if we need more rows than are provided initially? For example, if we go to 3 years and scroll down, and this looks strange just because of these extra payments. So let's just put that to 0. And now let's scroll this down. Okay, this looks better. There's 36 months. Okay, so what if there were 4 years? 4 years goes to 48, that looks fine. What if there are 10 years? Let's scroll down, we'd expect it to see 120, and we don't. And why is that? Well, if we look under here, we see there's no more formulas. So what if we want to do a 30-year home loan? Well, that brings us to the next exercise, exercise 3. So as I mentioned, this was stored in a table, which is great for a couple of reasons. The first is it's very easy to extend the bounds of a table. The way that we do that is we just scroll down here, and in the lower right of this table, we can hover over that and just click and drag. And when we do, everything is just filled on and everything just continues. So we can extend this down as far as we need. So I might bring it down this far. Now let's set that to 30. And let's scroll down, and we can see that we now have enough rows. Now what's nice about this amortization schedule is that if we don't need all of those extra rows, the schedule is only going to display the rows for those needed for the loan terms. So how does it do that? Well, let's look at this formula. It basically says if loan is good. So like, what is that? Okay, that's a defined name. So if we go to formulas, name manager, these are all the names that were used. Here we have the name loan is good. And it basically says if the value in E5 times the value in E6 times the value in E7 times the value in E9 is greater than 0, then this becomes true. In other words, then the rows are displayed. So it's basically saying I don't want to show any rows unless there are values in these key cells. So for example, if I put the loan amount to 0, instead of getting a bunch of errors, it just uses that loan is good name to hide any results. So if I said the loan amount was 100,000, it comes back. But what if I didn't put any interest rate in? Well then, the loan is good expression returns 0, which returns false, which means none of these values are going to be displayed because it relies on this if function, if loan is good, to determine whether or not to display anything. Now the other thing is we can cruise over here, we can go to this table design ribbon tab, and we can explore these different checkboxes. For example, if I wanted to pick a different table style, you can see we have plenty of different table styles to look at. Let's say I want one with banded rows. I can click that, and it makes this a little easier to read. And that formatting will be extended all the way down. So if we have a 10-year loan, that banded row formatting gets extended all the way down. So that's how we can download a free loan amortization schedule right from Microsoft using the file new command right in Excel. And I covered the basic usage and formatting options for this schedule. Hopefully this has been helpful. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Hey Excel user, if you ever need to create summary reports, check out my pivot table for beginners video. It starts at the beginning and shows how to store the data transactions in a table and then how to summarize those transactions with a pivot table report. I hope it helps unlock the incredible power of pivot tables.
This video is a production of Excel University.